can't imagine that anybody doesn't know you here, but just in case, you've got a pretty star-studded past. Can you tell us a little bit about some of your career and some of the superstars that you looked after even before you launched your own business?
Yeah, definitely. I started with Harley Davidson motorcycles, and it's kind of a weird place to start. It was definitely before online marketing really took off. But there I learned how to work with customers, and it was such a huge tribe. You know, Harley Davidson, it's a brotherhood for sure. And so it was a really fun place to learn how to market to an audience that were raving fans. So I did event marketing and product marketing, and then from there I moved into working with peak performance coach Tony Robbins. So for about 6.5 years, I got to travel the world with Tony and work on his content. So I was in the content development department and then moved into online marketing. And that's really where my love of online marketing really took off, and I learned so much from working with Tony. And from there started my own business and then got the book deal and started making info products, and that's really where I kind of found my groove and started loving every minute of what I was doing. So it was kind of a fun way to get there.
Wow, I mean, that's completely awesome. I mean, who wouldn't have wanted to work for Harley Davidson, let alone Tony Robbins himself? I mean, that's awesome. Totally
yeah, it was
amazing.
a good time.
I think a lot of people, though, we've got a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners. We're going to have a mix of people here on the live stream today. Some of them are people who have local marketing agencies. Some of them are even local businesses. Some of them have online info products, and some of them even have real physical products that they're selling. So we have kind of a mixed match of people here. But the one thing that I always get from my clients or my prospective clients when I first meet with them is, you know, this Facebook marketing thing, is it real? Because, I mean, I go on here and I see all these kids that are posting these photobombing pictures of them getting drunk the night before, or guys like me posting pictures of what they ate for breakfast. So they all want to know, like, is this social media platform professional enough and business related enough that you can actually pull real business leads through and do commerce on it? And so what are your thoughts on that?
It's such a great question. You know, you make a great point about this is a place where people are social. They're having a good time. One of the things I teach my students all the time is that people are not on Facebook or Pinterest or YouTube or Twitter to do business with you. People are on these social platforms to have a good time, maybe unwind and just kind of be entertained for a while, or to find inspiration or whatever it might be that they're doing. However, social media is definitely a place that you could build a business. You've just got to meet people where they're at. So I always teach, and Shane, you've probably heard this way too much if you follow my stuff, that you've got to entertain, educate, and empower, the 3 E's. I learned this from Tony Robbins, so it's not mine. But when I created content with him, he always said you got to EQ. So entertain, educate, and empower. And if you're doing that throughout your content on social media sites, you have the opportunity to meet your audience where they're at and entertain them and inspire them, but also educate them to let them know more about your products or services. So there definitely is a place for e-commerce on these social sites.
Wow, awesome. You know what? I don't think I've actually ever heard you say that, but I love that.
Really?
No.
Oh, great.
If you don't mind, I'm going to steal that for the next time too. I love that.
Definitely.
So you mean we can actually get to know someone then before we do commerce with them? Is that the idea?
It is, and I'm learning this more and more. You know, I've been at this for a few years, and I'm definitely been guilty in the beginning to probably promote and push too much. But now I'm starting to kind of take back the curtain a little bit and letting people inside and see a little bit more of my family side and what I do on vacation and maybe how I spent my weekend. It seemed kind of weird to me. I come from a really corporate background. Yeah. So telling people about my personal stuff, it's not that I don't want to share, it's that I feel like they won't care. But then I find myself, all the people that I follow, I love to learn about their kids and what they're doing and kind of even what courses they're taking or what they're working on in their business, but not necessarily all promotional stuff. So taking back that curtain and letting people in is your first step to building an audience on social media.
I love it. I love it. So then you have been stalking my wall, and you did see some of my postings of what I ate for breakfast, didn't you?
Yes, and I like it. It looks delicious.
Every once in a while, I show my boys on there or out biking or whatever, and I think that's important to do that. That's good. Everybody wants to know, you know, who we are I think everyone has a general sense of curiosity about what it's like to live life through somebody else's eyes, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah, I think it's important to be able to connect with them socially first. And hey, what better place to connect socially than on a social media platform like Facebook?
It's
So,
such a great opportunity, and who wants to do business with people they don't like and they don't know? So nowadays, we get to do business with people we genuinely have a liking for. So that's kind of exciting too.
so go figure, kind of like real life, right?
Yeah, who would have thought?
Who would have known? Okay, so I want to kind of dive into a little bit of the weeds here, and I want to ask you, in terms of your online Facebook marketing, what are the best tactics and methods that are really working, that are really knocking it out of the park for you right now, that some of the people that are on this live stream right now might be able to learn a little bit from?
So definitely there's two things. One, I really focus on engagement on Facebook especially. So putting up questions, you've all heard it, ask questions to increase your engagement. But lately I've been doing something where I'll ask a question, maybe related to social media, maybe just personal and fun, but I'll use an image that actually shows the question as well. Because images grab attention in the news feed. So I might, let's say, get an image of a blank chalkboard and then use some text in that chalkboard that asks the question, like, what do you prefer, reading physical books or digital books? But I'll put the question in the image, so if people don't want to read the status update, because people are busy, they're multitasking, you get a sliver of their attention on Facebook, that image might grab their attention as well. And every time someone leaves a comment on your Facebook page, your engagement goes up, and you're more likely to get in front of more people. That's just how Facebook works. So using images and using images in a way to grab attention is definitely a cool strategy I use often. But another one, and I know you knew I was going to bring this up because I can't help but talk about it, is Facebook advertising. I pretty much live and die by Facebook advertising in my business. It's how I've built my list. It's how I fill up every single one of my webinars. And it's truly how I target people that are genuinely interested in what I have to say on Facebook.
Awesome, awesome. And so, and you're just going into another launch now too, aren't you?
Pretty soon. We're getting ready for it, yeah.
You're getting ready for it. So when you go into that launch, can you kind of share us a little bit of the, let's open up the curtains here and share behind the scenes, what is Amy Porterfield going to use as her biggest tactic for her own launch that everyone on this live stream might be able to learn from, that, it isn't maybe a common thing that we all know about yet?
So what I always do for my business models, I do webinars. So free webinars tend to attract my ideal audience because they get some free content and they can like me and trust me and know me more. So I use webinars, but what I do is I use page post ads. Page post ads are my favorite type of ad. And I use these page post ads where I post on my Facebook page and then I turn it into an ad and I drive traffic to my webinar sign up page. And this is what I do every single time I launch something. So to be really clear, I'm not driving people to my sales page to sign up for my new product. I'm driving them to a free giveaway, whatever it might be. You could do ebooks or a telesummit or a webinar or a live stream, whatever it might be. But you want to give them away something of incredible value first so they get to know you. And page post ads, Facebook ads that are page posts that you turn into ads, tend to be my weapon of choice.
Awesome, awesome. So you're saying be nice to people first, which was what you told us at the beginning, build that relationship, get social with them, help them out, and then at some point in time, how do you actually come around and make that, I think Brendon Bouchard talks about this, right? You got to make that expert turn and get into the level of where you're actually going to ask them to do commerce with you. How do you make that little flip?
So what I do is first, and this is kind of a mindset thing, but I can't help it coming from the Tony Robbins world, you've got to really believe in what you are selling. You got to know that it's the best stuff you've ever put out there. So I cringe every time I hear a marketer say, just throw 3 blog posts together and call it a product and you're good to go. Unfortunately, we hear that, and that's not how I do my products. So because I spend so much time on my product, I know it's the best of the best. So with that mindset, when it's time to sell, I'm excited. I feel like I'm giving them this huge opportunity versus, okay, now I got to talk them into wanting something that I have. So once you make that mindset, it's just something you got to practice over and over again and believe in yourself. So beyond the mindset part of it, once I'm on my webinar and I'm telling people about, I'm teaching them, I'm giving them something they can walk away with, never buy a product of mine, and get value and actually see results. So once I do that, then I tell them, if you want more of this, if you want to really take things to the next level and dive in deeper with me, then I've got this great opportunity for you. So it all really flows, and it's an ethical thing for me that I got to make sure that it truly is the best of the best, and it's something that they will find extremely valuable.
I love it. So the next question I really wanted to ask you is kind of a little bit more about the future of Facebook. I know for sure there's all kinds of changes. There's always changes in Facebook. And when you watch people's walls, that quite often they'll complain about it, saying, oh my God, they just changed the news feed again, or they changed the ad dashboard and I can't figure it out again. And I guess my philosophy has always been, wherever there's change, there's opportunity. And so I'm curious what you think the horizon is right now for the Facebook changes, and in particular, the ones that they've kind of announced a little bit that they're doing with the ad dashboard. Because that ad dashboard, especially the Power Editor, it's really confusing for the average business person to be able to make ads and do the things that you're talking about, right?
It's so true. The first thing when it comes to Facebook marketing in general, there's going to be changes. And I get frustrated too, believe me. I'm behind the scenes, I'm thinking, why another change? But the thing is, I ignore a lot of the different features on Facebook. I don't use everything that they put out there. So if I keep my eye on what really matters to my business, there's maybe 4 or 5 areas of Facebook where I really focus on. And if there's a change there, then I pay attention. If there's a change on something that I don't even use, I just don't worry about it. So I definitely don't take it all in and get overwhelmed pretty easy with it, because I have laser focus on what I want to do on Facebook. So that's one quick little tip, that you don't have to do it all. But also, when it comes to Facebook advertising, what we've heard recently is that Facebook is going to take their ad units down, meaning right now I think the number was like 27 ad units, and they're going to cut that in half, if not more. And I love this because, like you said, the Power Editor, which is Facebook's ad dashboard that's kind of like the one on steroids, it's very confusing and clunky, but I love it because it allows you to get your ads in the news feed only, which I think is the most powerful place to be. And so I use the Power Editor, but I love the fact that they're going to cut down the ad units. There's less to choose from, but the ones that they're going to keep, they're going to actually build up and make better, which is really good for small businesses and entrepreneurs, because they said they're going to focus more on your goals, meaning getting more likes, getting more leads, and getting more sales. So to me, I think we're going to see a big shift in ads that for the first time is going to be really, really good for small businesses and entrepreneurs.
Good news, because it is a little confusing and it took a long time to learn how to use the self-serve ad dashboard, let alone that crazy Power Editor.
Yeah.
And I think it just intimidates so many people that they don't want to try it. And so that's the one thing I encourage everyone on the live stream here today is try that Power, because it could be a little while before Facebook makes those changes, right?
Yeah.
So, pull up that Power Editor. We're going to teach a little bit of that in our live stream here today as well.
Oh, good.
But yeah, pull up the Power Editor and start playing around, because it's the only way to get into the news feed. And those ads are going crazy right now. Those little postage stamp ads on the side, nobody really clicks on them anymore. I mean, we all have banner blindness. Amy, I have to thank you so much for being here. I know you couldn't make it to the live stream, but hey, this is probably better anyway, because we had more of a chance to chat. And I wish you well on your next new launch, because you're going to go immediately and start working really hard on that. So thanks so much for being here.
Shane, thanks so much. I love hearing about all your successes, and thanks for having me on, and thanks to Nick as well.
Hey, for sure. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.